Hello, College of the Desert students. Wendy Ansley here, kinesiology professor. We have a well-rounded sequence for you today. As always, have your 2 blocks and a strap nearby. The theme for our sequence is to evolve. If you look up a basic definition, this means to develop gradually over time. You'll often hear words such as develop, unfold, mature, and transform. These are examples of evolving. But it also means to move towards the common good in life. And characteristics that accompany this, moving towards the common good, are compassion towards yourself and others, and generosity. Generosity of your spirit as you give back to this world. We are constantly working to evolve in our journey of life. You are all capable of change. You're capable of creativity, you're capable of healing, and you're capable of self-transformation. I just wanted to share that with you. Stepping on the 4 corners of my yoga mat truly represents evolving to me. I love to approach and learn new postures, new ways to get in and out of postures, to feel them differently with my breath, my efforts. And I also love this opportunity to set my intention, to honor the light inside of me and honor the light inside of you. As we come up to our edge of our mat, we'll start with 2 classical Surya A's, 2 quarter Surya A's. Pada Bandha, I want you to awaken those arches, those intrinsic foot muscles. And let's press down the pinky, the 4th toe, the 3rd, the 2nd, the 1st, lifting the Pada Bandha in the feet, awakening those legs. Inhale, take this good energy up. Energy out those fingertips. Beautiful. Shoulders away from those ears. If we can straighten the arms, maybe we draw those palms together. On the exhale, we're going to swan dive down and do a little dynamic forward fold. Heel and toe, heel and toe. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift, either hands to the shins, the thighs, or the ground, or the blocks. Gaze forward and down. Exhale, come into a little forward fold. Keep those hips over the knees and the ankles. Breathe into that backside body. Gently bend the knees. Inhale, swan dive up. Exhale, heart centered. Inhale, gather that beautiful energy up. Gaze up and look up. Draw the belly button to the spine. Exhale, swan dive down, a little dynamic forward fold, heel and toe, heel and toe. Inhale, halfway lift, tailbone out and back, gaze forward and down. Exhale, come into a little forward fold. Hips over the knees and the ankles. Breathe into that backside body. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Look up, gaze up. Exhale, heart centered. Let's do 2 cleansing breaths together. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Evolving, moving towards the common good in life. Coming back to Tadasana. In Tadasana, mountain pose, we either can do feet hip width apart, or sometimes I have my big toes touching, a little bit of space between those heels. Moving into a lateral Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. We're going to step the left foot over. I'm clasping my left wrist. I like to take my thumb and index finger together, shift over here to the right, and open that left side body. And gently rise. Step that right foot over. Clasp a hold of the right wrist. Shift over to the left here, opening that right side body. Lateral flexion of the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, rise. I love it. Inhale, gather that beautiful energy up. Upward salute. Energy out the fingertips. Exhale, we're going to swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Either shins, thighs, or the ground. Good. Framing the feet, we're stepping back into Phalakasana plank. I love it. Shoulders are over the wrists here. Belly button the spine, heels over the balls of the feet. We're engaging the quadriceps. We're engaging the shoulders here. We're engaging the core. Stay here several breaths. Core stability, core strength. Gently lower onto the stomachs. Resting the forehead to the ground. I like to take my arms and kind of extend them to the sides here. Come onto the fingertips. Come onto the right side, back side of the head here, and draw that left foot up and over as we explore a little spinal mobility. Find the breath. Gently come back center. Lower the left ear or the back side of the head and draw that right foot over. Good. And breathe into that spinal mobility. Gently come back center. Forehead to the ground. Come to all fours. Lead with those hips. Come into Adho Mukha, down dog. Press through those palms. Let's spread those fingers. Middle finger in line with the shoulders. Shoulder blades rooted against the back ribs. Feet are about hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider. And feel those inner thighs spiraling back. Transition. Walk it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, heart centered. Beautiful. Cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to repeat this one more time. Step that left foot over. Draw those arms up and clasp hold of that left wrist and shift over to the right, opening that left side body. Inhale and rise. Step that right foot over. Clasp hold of the right wrist. Shift over to the left and open that right side body. So good for the spine. Gently step back. Inhale, draw those arms up. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Framing the feet, step back into our Phalakasana plank. As we push into those palms, lightly dome that upper back and continue to draw the belly button, the spine. The whole body is engaged in Phalakasana. Eye of the elbows forward. Engage those quadriceps. Gaze forward and down. Gently lower onto our stomachs. Arms out by the sides. Come onto the fingertips, forehead to the ground. And draw that left foot up and over and come to the right ear towards the ground or the back side of the head. Good. Just breathe into that spinal mobility. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Calm the mind. Gently come back together, forehead to the ground. Draw that right foot up and over. Come over to that left ear back or back side of the head to the ground. Breathe into the spinal mobility. Gently come back center. Come to all fours. I love it, guys. Lead with those hips. Come into our Adho Mukha down dog. Spread those fingers. Good. Root through all the fingers a little bit more with the index fingers. Think of the tailbone coming back and down and the pubis bone backing up. Walk the feet together in down dog. Inhale, draw that left leg up to about hip level. Mindfully draw the left knee, the chest, and the nose, round that upper back here. As we place that left foot next to the left hand, lower the right knee to the ground, hands to those hips. 1 to 2 dynamics. Now interlace those hands. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another and sink lower as we come into low lunge and shoulder and chest opener. Good. Open the chest, open the heart, shoulder blades come towards one another. Breathe into that release of the right hip. Find the breath. Gently release, hands to those hips. Frame the foot. Runner's pose, back leg is straight and engaged. Press through those palms, Adho Mukha, down dog. Let's do a cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Staying in down dog, the feet come together for this transition. Inhale, draw that right leg up to hip level. On the exhale, draw the right knee, the chest, and the nose, round that upper back. Place the right foot next to the right hand. Lower the left knee to the ground, hands to those hips. 1 to 2 dynamics. Interlace those fingers. Shoulder blades come towards one another and sink lower into low lunge. Open the chest, open the heart, and breathe into that left hip. Gently release. Hands to the hips, frame the foot. Runner's pose, back leg straight and engaged. Press through those palms, come into Adho Mukha down dog. Good. Breathe into the lengthening of the spine here. Breathe into this posture, releasing the whole back side of the body. Adho Mukha, down dog. Breathe into any stiffness, any pain. Send the breath there, send the light, send the energy. Gently lower to the knees. So we're standing on the knees, tucking those toes. We'll explore a little mid-thoracic warm up here as we're in a form of camel. Inhale, draw those arms up. I want you to interlace those fingers and clasp the back of the head so the thumbs are almost coming, supporting the back of the head here, going towards the neck. Draw that right elbow down and that left elbow up. Just a little lateral expression. Inhale, rise. Lower the left elbow and draw that right elbow towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Inhale, rise. Lower that right elbow and draw that left elbow up. Beautiful. Inhale, rise. Lower that left elbow and draw that right elbow up. Inhale, rise. Good. Now tilt both elbows up and open the chest as we come into a little bit of a back bend. Opening the chest, open the heart, leading with the upper and the middle back. Find the breath. Your spine is thanking you. Inhale, rise. I love it. Gently draw the knees together here. And we're going to, the feet come into plantar flexion here. Knees are together. We're going to extend that right arm up from the shoulder here, and the right hand comes into dorsiflexion. We draw the fingers towards us. So this is wrist therapy. Draw the fingers towards us. It's okay to close those eyes and just breathe into this wrist flexibility, wrist mobility, and this wrist warm-up. The birds are singing. Gently release. Extend that left arm and draw the left fingers towards you. Close those eyes. A little wrist flexibility and mobility. Gently release. A few wrist circles as we circle the wrists. Good. Switch directions. Core awakening. So the hands come outside the knees. My feet are in plantar flexion. And as I push into the ground, I'm actually kind of lightly rounding that upper back. And I want us to engage our Uddiyana Bandha, drawing the belly button to the spine as we draw the knees to the chest. This is a form of Lolasana, which is an ancient yoga exercise. So let's do it together. Push into the palms here and draw the knees towards the chest and exhale, gently lower. Good. Gently raise the knees. Good. Towards the chest. Good. Connect to that core. Good. And the exhale, let's draw knees to the chest. Gently lower. Inhale. Good. Awesome. Lightly round that upper back. Good. Let's do 4 more. Good. Gently release. Come back to all fours here. Come into, walk the palms forward just a bit. Come into down dog, Adho Mukha. Again, press through those palms. Let's have those heels in line with the pinky toe and find the breath. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Take those inner thighs, spiral them back, creating length in the spine. As we focus on our evolving today, we're going to walk the feet towards the hands. We're maybe about a foot away. And we're going to explore little forearm taps here. So we're going to lead with this right leg. We're drawing that femur up high, the femur bone, that big thigh bone, and we're drawing the right foot to the right forearm or elbow. And drawing now that left foot to the forearm and elbow. Good. Right foot, tap. Awesome. Good. building upon awareness, body awareness. Good. Now the right foot to the right forearm, left foot. Good. Four more. Two more. Good. Core awareness and that connection, left foot. Gently come back to Uttanasana. Forward fold. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Open the chest, open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. I love it. Beautiful. Coming towards the edge of our mat here, we're going to explore Malasana. There's many different forms of Malasana. We're going to do an ancient one. We're going to try to get the soles of the feet and the heels to stay on the ground. I think we've done this before. And if this is a challenge to keep those heels close to the ground in this expression here, then you may take the mat and you roll it, because if I had you in person at the college, I'd have you roll your mat. My mat's a little thicker. And then I'd have you step on the mat, inner arches touching, to help give you a prop for those heels. So rolling our mat towards us and pressing the heels helps explore that as a prop, okay? There's so many ways. Props are extensions of our bodies to help us feel the postures. So my feet are together, arms up, extended from my shoulders, energy out my fingertips. On the exhale, I want you to gently lower. Try to keep those heels onto the ground. Good, and keep length in the spine. Just don't rest the torso on the thighs here. Pada Bandha in the feet, Mula Bandha. I want you to engage the pelvic hip floor. This is an ancient yoga posture, Malasana. A form, this is another expression of Malasana. Now we're going to explore widen the knees. I got this from an ancient yoga textbook. Heels stay on the ground. And now we're drawing our torso forward. So it's almost like a hip opener and a forward fold. I'm trying to get those armpits kind of outside of the knees here as I grow this pose. You can stay on the fingertips, possibly walk those hands back, and possibly clasp the heels or the ankles. Forehead towards the ground. Find the breath. Gently lower the sitting bones towards the ground. We're going to come to the back of the sitting bones and explore Navasana, the major core exercise in yoga. Extend those legs. We're coming to the back sitting bones here. The next phase is this phase. And eventually, strength and flexibility come together. Engaging those legs, energy out the fingers, energy out the toes. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, and engage those hip flexors to build upon the strength. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, engage. Beautiful. Gently root and rise. I'm proud of you guys. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Energy out the fingertips. Upward salute. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Framing the feet, walking back into Adho Mukha, down dog. On the exhale, we're going to draw the left knee, the chest, and the nose round the upper back. Place the left foot next to the left hand. Come on to the ball of the back foot. Ashta Chandrasana, crescent moon. Front knee over the ankle. Come to the pinky toe side of the back leg. The back leg is engaged and straight. Draw that right arm forward. Feel that right hip coming forward. Draw the left arm to meet it. Draw length. Beautiful. Ashta Chandrasana. Standing crescent moon. Hands to the hips. Frame the foot. Adho Mukha, down dog. Draw the right knee to the chest and the nose. Round that upper back, right foot next to the right hand. Come onto the ball of that back foot. Come to the pinky toe side just a bit. Front knee over the ankle. Draw that left hand forward. Draw that left hip forward. Draw the right arm to meet it. Inhale and rise. Front leg parallel to the ground. Back leg straight and engaged. Hand to the hips. Frame the foot. Adho Mukha, down dog. Let's add a vinyasa here as we come into Phalakasana plank. Engaging the core, bending those elbows, draw the sternum and the chest forward. Shoulders are in line with those elbows. Elbows close to the sides. Don't drop the elbows. What am I looking for? Upward facing dog. Tips of the shoulders, I didn't want them to drop. Good. As we press through the palms here, open the chest, open the heart, tips of the shoulder blades come forward. Feel those inner thighs spiraling back. Exhale, come over the tops of the feet. Let's do a cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Find the breath. Breathe into any stiffness. On the transition, we're going to walk the feet closer and we're going to explore with donkey kicks or jackknives. So my hands are shoulder width apart here. I'm just shorten my down dog and I'm drawing my heels towards the buttocks. We're working on hips over the foundation. We warmed up our core. Again, heels towards the buttocks. See that? Hips over the foundation. And let's do it again. Heels towards the buttocks, hips over the foundation. Eventually, you can hold a little bit longer. Good. And start moving on that handstand. Let's do one more. Good. Hips over the foundation. I'm just showing you how eventually it comes up to a handstand, which we're not doing here until we practice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, heart centered. So proud of you guys. Let's explore Malasana again. So some of you, your heels picked up a little bit. And you know you're going to roll the mat towards you, if that helps, and press those heels on the mat, if that helps, okay? Inner arches touching. Heels, the four corners of the feet on the mat. Energy up the fingertips. On the exhale, we're lowering. Good. Heels towards the buttocks. Awesome. Draw length in the spine. Strengthening the intrinsic muscles of the feet. The muscles along the shins. Widen the knees. Come onto the fingertips. Good. For some of you a little deeper in this posture, you might think about clasping the ankles, drawing the head towards the ground. Gently lower the sitting bones to the ground. Building upon Navasana core strength, we have different levels. Rooting through the back of the sitting bones here, we have phase 1. Legs parallel, phase 2. Building upon strength and flexibility. Lift up, create length. Engage the outer thigh muscles to the pinky toes. Inner thigh muscles to the big toes. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Hip flexors engaged. Gently root and rise, working on trying to come up without the hands and the knees. Cleansing breath together. Inhale, exhale. We had our theme, evolving. But I don't know if I set time just for our own personal intention. So we are awake now, hands by the heart. Lower the head to the fingertips. Take a moment and set your own personal intention of your practice. Carry this intention through your breath and your efforts and your intentions. Gently look up. Again, we are all capable of the common good, and we're all capable of change, self-transformation, healing, and creativity. In this next posture, we're going to add Uttanasana with a bind and come into a little torso rotation. I'm going to set the strap to my right side, and my feet now are about hip width apart. Pada Bandha. Good. Lift those big toes, lift all the toes, press them into the ground, awaken the intrinsic foot muscles, the arches of the feet. Inhale, Urdhva Sthasana. Carry that intention with us. Honor who we are. Honor our body and our efforts. Exhale, Swan Dive down. We're going to gently bend that left leg. And we're going to place the right hand to the sacrum. This is where some of us are going to utilize the strap to help us. Clasping a hold of the strap or the fingers. This is where we almost soften the shoulders here. Open the chest and think about drawing the heart towards the sky. So now we're doing a little torso rotation. I love this posture. Gently release. Let's take the strap and place it now on the left side. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Inhale, the common good, compassion and generosity. Evolving. Exhale, heart centered. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swan dive down. Gently bend that right leg. Place the left hand to the sacrum. Good. And either clasp the strap or the fingertips. And we kind of come towards the crevice of the hip here. And this is where we're broadening the chest, but we're softening almost the shoulders here as we're drawing the heart towards the sky. Torso rotation. Gently release. Proud of you guys. Setting the strap down, gently bend the knees. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, heart centered. Beautiful. Let's take the blocks and we'll place them on either side and maybe utilize them a little bit here as we explore on our mat here together. Coming to the center of the mat, Tadasana. Open the palms, shoulders, good. Ears over the shoulders here. Broaden the chest. Engage the leg muscles here. Even feel those inner thighs spiraling back. Hands up by the chest, elbows up. Good. Add a little hop. Rotate those big toes in slightly. Press outer edges of the feet. Awesome. Draw the belly button to the spine. Lift those kneecaps, 5-point star. Hands to the lower back and elbows towards one another and broaden the collarbones. Inhale, we create length. Exhale, come forward. Hands under the shoulders. We have a concave back. And of course, if you need a block here, if you're struggling to block, it works so well. We have props are an extension of who we are. Sometimes I like to press through my big toe mound and my outer edge of my foot just to kind of capitalize on opening the hamstrings and the inner groin. Walking those hands back in line with those heels. And think about coming more to the midfoot and actually pulling my head through my legs. Beautiful. Hands under the shoulders, belly button the spine for lumbar support, hands to those hips, inhale, root and rise. Let's mirror each other so we're doing it the same direction. You're gonna turn that left foot, heel in line with the back arch or the back heel. Good. Knee over that ankle. And I'm gonna start with the block kind of inside of your left foot here. Good, as we mirror each other together. Virabhadrasana 2. So left knee goes towards that pinky toe. I want you to feel the front of the pelvis opening. This is a hip opener. Gaze over that left hand. Create length in the side body here. Stability and strength. On the exhale, growing extended angle. Let's add a little bit of room here in the torso. Draw that left elbow or shoulder inside the knee. If we can, to the block, we're going to continue to grow the pose, but add a little bit of room between the torso. Grow the pose from the back foot, through the hips, through the crown of the head, and the fingertips. If we can, gaze up and draw the heart towards the sky. Draw the pinky towards the face. Beautiful. Inhale, rise. Let's counter the pose. Take that left hand, brush the ceiling. We turn that left palm up and allow the right arm to weigh you down and continue to bend the left knee. Gently release. Circle the hands on the inside here for lizard, Uttan Prasthasana. And in this pose, we're gonna rock forward and back. You might take that left foot, because we're mirroring each other, doing it together, and you might widen it a bit. We're gonna rock forward and back. Forward and back. Shoulders are level, chest is broad. Major hip hamstring opener. Gently lower the back knee. I want you to roll outer edge of your left foot. Oh, beautiful. And when you do that, you're kinesthetically sending a message to the brain to open the hip. Good. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. For many of us, we're going to come onto the forearms and maybe place the block under the forehead. This is where we're creating length in the spine. Good. So we're opening the hips and the hamstrings. But as we do this, we're also, and if you don't have a block, you can do the thumbs to the third eye, but we're also helping with any back pain. So close your eyes and allow the breath to release you. Inhale, create length. Exhale, come deeper. Hands inside the foot, back leg is straight and engaged. We're gonna walk, we're gonna try to dive in deeper. So the shoulder goes under the right knee, creating length. Come onto the ball of the back foot if we can. Engage the core. Engage the core. Good, good. Crisscross here. Lower those hips, lengthen the spine, engage the core, shoulders are level. Beautiful, way to evolve. Come back center, so proud of you guys. Rotate those big toes in slightly. Belly button to the spine. Inhale, hands to those hips, root and rise. Adjust that right foot now for Virabhadrasana 2. Lower that back heel. Right knee over the ankle, come towards the pinky toe, lengthen that side body. Gaze over the right hand. Draw the right knee towards the pinky toe. And I also like to take that right sitting bone and make sure that it kind of comes towards me and it's not flaring too out. I might take the block and place it now here on the inside here. Good. Virabhadrasana 2. Take the right elbow or shoulder inside of the right knee, 6 o'clock arms here as I mirror you. Possibly we grow the pose from the back foot, through the hips, through the crown of the head and the fingertips. Draw the heart towards the sky. Amazing posture, Utthita Parshva Konasana. So many benefits. Inhale, root and rise. Take the right hand, brush the ceiling. Allow the left arm to weigh you down. Keep the right knee bent. Good. Open that right side body. Together, we're going to cartwheel those hands down. Maybe adjust the block here a little bit. Maybe adjust your right foot as we mirror each other here and rock forward and back. So the right foot, your front foot comes outside a little bit. In this posture, the front leg is hip flexion. The back leg is hip extension. It's magical. It's a magical posture. Utthana Prasthasana. Uttan means to stretch out. Lowering the back knee to the ground, roll outer edge of the right foot here. Beautiful. Coming in a little bit deeper to the pose now. We either can come onto the forearms if we can, a little bit deeper. Maybe take a block under the forehead if you have a block. Still creating length here. Good. In the cervical vertebrae, the neck here. Kind of drawing the chin to the chest. This is where I want you to broaden the chest, shoulder, elbows directly under the shoulders. We're opening those hips. We're opening those hamstrings, but we're also releasing back pain. Inhale, create length. Exhale, let go. Adjusting the block. We're going to evolve here into crisscross, pressing into those palms. Back leg is straight and engaged. Wedging your right shoulder, because your right leg is in front here. Coming onto the fingertips. This is where we're lowering hips, creating length in the spine. Lifting those fingers and engaging the core to lengthen the spine and open those hips. Core engagement. Crisscross. Gently release. Hands come back middle. Hands under the shoulders. Hands to those hips. Belly but the spine, back flat, root and rise. Heel toe it in. Cleansing breath, inhale. Exhale. And adjust the blocks. Building on fluidity here, we're gonna all do what we can do the best that we can do as we explore these balancing postures with fluidity. So coming onto the side profile here. Good. Facing straight ahead. We're gonna start with eagle to warrior three, to foot to hand pose, building on fluidity. Gently, slightly bend the left leg. Hands to those hips as we explore Garudasana. Beginners can take the right foot to the ground. Eventually, draw that right foot around the left calf. I like to place my hands on my hips, feel my hips coming towards one another. Now extend those arms. Draw my right arm under the left. I work on palm alignment, thumb to the hairline. As I dive in deeper, I sink lower and I draw those palms forward, releasing my upper and my middle back. Garudasana Eagle. Upper, middle, back releases as the palms come forward. Sink lower, hips come towards one another. Building on fluidity, keep that right leg extended as we come back. Airplane arms. Good. Create length. Chest comes a little bit towards parallel to the ground. Back leg is extended from the hip, toes pointed down. Back leg is straight and engaged. We're strengthening that left leg. Gazing forward, gazing down. Left hand on the hip. Good. Draw that right knee up. This is where that left leg is extended and straight. When we can straighten that left leg, we move to the next phase. Thumb and index fingers. Once that, we want the spine long. Once the leg is straight and engaged, do we think about maybe this phase, just to here, till eventually we straighten. Sitting bones towards the ground, length in the spine. Sitting bones of that right leg close to the ground, length in the spine. Hamstring flexibility. Draw that left leg up, left arm up. Find your drishti, that's your gaze. Left hand to the hip. Draw that right leg back. Come back to Tadasana. Woo! Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale, let go. Let's evolve together, guys. Let's challenge ourselves and evolve. I love it. Hands to the hips, gently bend that right leg. Draw the left leg to the ground or draw the left foot towards that right calf. Hips come towards one another. Beautiful. Extend those arms out to the sides. Left arm under the right arm. Shoulder therapy, palms together, thumbs to the hairline. Let's sink lower. Draw those palms forward, upper and middle back release. Sink lower, hips come towards one another. Upper, middle, back release. Find the drishti, find the breath. Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. Keep that left leg extended, lengthen the torso, lengthen the side body, airplane arms. Chest is parallel to the ground, back leg extends from the hip. Toes pointed down. Standing leg slightly bent, gaze forward and down. Engage the hamstrings of the back leg. Build strength of the standing leg. Foot to hand pose, right hand on the hip. Draw that left leg up. Standing leg straight and strong of the right leg. Clasp the left big toe. Eventually, once we can straighten this standing leg, we try to extend, but we want to keep the spine long, even if we're here today, till eventually So eventually, with effort and practice, left sitting bones towards the ground, lengthen the spine. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Gently come out of this pose. Oops, I forgot to extend one more time. Extend that right arm up. Right hand to the hip. Good, that's evolving. Gently release. Exploring movements. Cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. If you have the blocks, we'll set the blocks shoulder width apart and make room for a chaturanga with the sternum and chest coming forward. So if you have those blocks, come back to Tadasana. Open the heart, open the chest, open the mind. Inhale, gather that energy up. Evolving in life, compassion, generosity. Exhale, swan dive down, moving towards that common good. Inhale, halfway lift. Heel of the hands on the blocks. Adho Mukha, down dog. Come into Phalakasana plank. Bend those elbows, sternum and the chest forward. Chaturanga, Dandasana. Keep those shoulders forward in line with those elbows. Inhale, press through the tops of the feet. Draw the pelvis forward. This is good for the back. This is a back bend too. Gaze up, look up. Exhale, come into Adho Mukha, down dog. Heel of the hands on the blocks. Let's do a cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Stay here several breaths. Transition, walk it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Tailbone out and back. Good. Exhale, come into our forward fold. Come more to the midfoot. Neck is long, hips over the knees and the ankles. Gently bend the knees, swan dive up. Let's open the chest. Let's open the heart. Exhale, heart centered. Adjusting these blocks here. Standing back bend with the hips pressing forward. I love this one. I really love this one. I'd love to practice it with you guys. The feet are mat width apart. Rotate those big toes in slightly. We'll explore this, we'll evolve with the posture, and we'll hold even longer as we explore this 3 times. The first time we're gonna press together on the lower back. So we're pressing the tailbone down, elbows come towards one another, and we're broadening the chest. We wanna keep those hips pressing forward. Inhale, create length. Exhale, lead with the upper and the middle back. Inhale, rise, neck and head last. Hands heart centered, beautiful. Same thing. If we have it in our practice, only if we're comfortable, might we walk those hands back a little bit deeper, honor where we are, and try to keep those, so our legs are hip width apart, rotate the big toes. We want to try to keep those hips pressing forward and the legs straight. Elbows towards one another, broaden the chest. Inhale, create length. Exhale, come back. Honor where you are, possibly walk the hands a little bit lower. I like to get it towards my calves because I've been practicing a while. Hips are still pressing forward. I'm puffing open the chest. Find the breath. Good. Walk those hands back up. Neck and head last. Move with intention, hands heart-centered. Cleansing breath, inhale. Exhale. Proud of you guys, let's do this again. Hands by the tailbone. And that symbolizes right away length and pressing those hips forward. Elbows towards one another, puff, open the chest. Inhale, create length. Exhale, come back. Hands by the calves. Hips pressing forward. Come back up. Neck and head last. Hands heart centered. Beautiful. Countering those standing back bends a little bit. We neutralize the spine a little bit. So we're going to do an Urdhva Hastasana, but this time I want you to tuck that tailbone, posteriorly tilt the tailbone. Tilt the tailbone, but draw length in the spine here, just neutralizing the spine. Stay here several breaths. Hands heart-centered. Building upon our puppy dog pose here because we're countering our back bends. Moving from compression to extension, spinal extension. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Gently bend those knees. Swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Framing the feet, we're going to step back into Phalakasana here. So we've got a little bit of core stability here. This helps kind of belly button the spine, build upon lumbar support because we just challenged ourselves in those back bends. Let's build upon that support. Let's build upon strength. Neutralize the spine. Gently lower the knees. Anahatasana, our puppy dog pose. Knees are under the hips. I like to tuck my back toes. Walk those palms forward, and the palms are shoulder width apart. This is heart melting pose. So we're creating extension in the spine now. This is shoulder therapy too. Forehead to the ground. So you feel the armpits, you feel the shoulders opening and the chest, shoulders and chest. Eventually, the goal is to get the chest towards the ground. Energetically, chest towards the ground. I like to get the chest and the chin towards the ground. Beautiful. And even really focus on getting the chest and the ground. So you're the knees, chest, good. You're pressing through those palms, those fingers, and the chin is also on the ground if you can, or the forehead to the ground for many of us. A few of us that are in the advanced class, we might practice the next thing, but majority of us are keeping the forehead to the ground, but some of us, our chest is lower, our chin is lower, our palms to the ground. We're going to practice lifting the knees and straightening those legs. Moving into spinal extension here. We'll stay here several breaths. Evolving in the pose. Gently lower. Gently walk those hands back. As we face each other in Dandasana here. Seated staff pose. Rooting through the sitting bones, creating length in the spine. And if we find ourselves slumping, sometimes I like to come onto the fingertips and just focus on that. Maybe I take my mat and roll it in a couple times to give myself a lift, or a block or the blanket helps give us that lift. Sitting on something to help us rotate the pelvis forward. We're going to take the feet about hip width apart, maybe an inch or so wider. We're going to mirror each other. You're going to keep the right leg extended and draw that left heel towards the pubis bone, foot towards the inner thigh. Dorsiflex this extended right foot. If this is a challenge, this is head of the knee pose, Janu Sirsasana. It symbolizes the head of the knee of the bent leg. This pose is a hamstring lengthener, but also hip opener. Many ancient yogis love this pose. If we have a hard time coming forward, this is where the strap can help us. Energetically engaging the quadriceps to release the hamstrings. This is where the strap around the midfoot can help us. I like to take my block, because I have it in my practice, towards the edge of my foot, and that helps me keep active dorsiflexion of the foot to engage those quadriceps to release the hamstrings. But I like to take my hand of the bent leg and think about drawing the pelvic hip bowl forward. So I'm lengthening the hamstrings and opening those hips. Inhale, create length. I want the sternum and the chest to come forward. Reach forward, spacious heart centered. Reach forward, or with a strap. Good, good. And keep that bent hip rotated forward. Sternum and chest over the shin. Head towards the toes. Good. We're going to stay here several more breaths. Releasing the hamstrings, opening the hips, and also releasing the lower back. This is a magical posture, Janu Sirsasana, head of the knee pose. Keep that pelvic hip bowl of the bent leg and draw it forward, sternum and chest over the shin. Inhale, create length. Exhale, come deeper into the pose. So many benefits. Inhale and rise. Come back to Dandasana. Cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Yoga is the science of healthy living. And this is a beautiful posture. Feet move to hip width apart, maybe an inch wider. We're going to keep that left leg extended. Dorsiflexion of that left foot. Draw that right heel towards the pubis bone. Hands to those hips. And think about the pelvic hip bowl of the bent leg moving forward. Sternum and chest forward. We've got the strap here over the midfoot. Beautiful. For some of us. And then for many of us, a few of us in our practice, we take the block, and that help keeps the dorsiflexion of the foot. Remember, hamstring hip opener. Inhale, carry that beautiful energy with you. Exhale, follow the magic of this posture. Keep that spacious heart centered. Sternum and chest over the shin, and keep the pelvic hip bowl of the bent leg coming forward. Utilize the breath. Inhale, create length. Exhale, come a little bit deeper into the posture. Feel the release of the hamstrings and opening the hips, but also releasing the entire backside of the body. Inhale and rise. Beautiful. So many benefits. Removing the block, Upavista Konasana. We're going to come into Dandasana first, and we're widening our feet. This is the Konasana shape, a little straddle. Knees rotated out, outer edges of the feet come back, dorsiflexion of the foot. First, I like to place my hands on the pelvis, and this is this little slight anterior rotation we're going to have. But for some of us, it's a challenge. So we're going to stay onto those fingertips, and we're going to work on it just here today. And breathe into this release of the adductors. Breathe evenly into symmetry. Some of us, we continue to sit on a blanket, a little tiny bit of a pillow, a little block to help lift us. Inhale, we're going to create length. Let's draw those arms over the head. On the exhale, let's walk those hands forward an inch or two. Good. Keep the knees rotated back. Awaken the arches of the feet, dorsiflexion, Pada Bandha in the feet. Till eventually we get the forehead maybe close to the ground. Once we can get the forehead to the ground, do we think about taking the thumb and the index finger, clasping around the big toes, rotating those knees out, drawing length as we draw the chin forward and breathing into the entire back side of the body. Close those eyes. On the inhale, create length. On the exhale, dive in deeper into the pose. Inhale, root and rise. Coming onto our backs here. Almost there, almost there. Great practice. Clasp around the shins here. Create length in the spine. Tailbone towards the ground. Knees on top of one another, coming into a spinal twist. Stack the knees on top of one another, over to the right here. Right hand on the left knee, gaze over. Try to get the left shoulder towards the ground and breathe into that release of the upper and the middle back. Close those eyes. Just let go. Gently come back center. Guide both knees over to the left now. Right hand on top of the left hand on top of the right knee, and extend that right arm to the side shoulder, to the ground. Gaze over that right shoulder and breathe into that release of the upper and the middle back. Gently come back center, clasping around the shins, tailbone towards the ground. Good. Just breathe evenly in the both sides of the spine here. Let everything go. Reach the arms over the head. Reach the legs out. One last reach, reach, reach. Good. As we settle down and let everything go in this opportunity of a Shavasana, a regeneration, where you're going to stay here as long as you need. When we step on our mat, it's an opportunity to transform who we are, to move in that direction that we want to move towards the common good. That's part of being the light and sharing the light. And we are all capable of this. Thank you for allowing me to share this journey with you today. I enjoyed creating the sequence. Let everything go. And as you lie here, just regenerate for your day. Be prepared to share that light, compassion, and generosity.